No, we weren't.
I'm used to like when I come on, it's already live. That's
yeah. No, we weren't. So anyway, we were at The Chosen.
Have you seen it, Grant?
I haven't. I would watch it. I feel like when I do TV, it's purely for entertainment, winding down. And whenever I do anything religious related, I have to be engaged. So like my wife will listen to the Bible.
Just get on a bike and put it on the screen and pedal.
That's a good idea.
Or a stepper, bro.
I need to do that. Jesus wants me to do anything.
We're level like 6 if we're gonna watch the show on the stepper.
Yeah.
Me and Tudor just did. We tried to go level 25, which is like the max level, as long as we could, and we did it this week. And bro, it's like you're running at level 25. You're like running up the stairs, and there's small steps if you have big feet.
I don't even know how the levels work. Is that the highest level?
Oh yeah, bro, it's up there.
Yeah. Where do you have a stepper? Is it at your CrossFit gym? Or
no, it's at my dad's garage. So
I kind of the fittest man in the world. They give you a free one. That's why Matt got one. Like it just comes with a title.
I think Roderick got something. He got an assault runner, I think.
I would take an assault runner, not gonna lie, over a stepper. I would use it so much more.
Yeah.
But the stepper's cool because it's just variation, like a Jacob's ladder or something. Like I don't know, we do so many different forms of cardio all the time that it's just one more thing to add in and not get bored as much of. And that's crazy for CrossFitters say that we're getting bored of single movements because we're the most varied sport there is. But anyway, it's fun, bro. Merry Christmas, boys.
The last time I saw you, James, on the podcast, I don't know why this isn't working. There we go. It's kind of funny because I remember I like just started stuff and it was like, to me, it was almost like cocky. I didn't take it that way, but you were like, yeah, I'm coming in top 10. And isn't that hysterical though? Thinking back about that, I was like, and I was solely when I was betting money with John and won money with him, it was solely off the base.
James, you gave Grant a very skewed look of like what is supposed to happen. I mean, all the props to you.
I'm
just like that. This is his first year in the CrossFit, and it's like
our first year.
Yeah,
he's got it's like I thought I had special insight. I'm like, no. He told me top 10. So yeah,
I was like,
I'm doing a $50 bet with you.
Hey, James,
I need to go back,
man. And I'm like,
I need to go back and find
no shot.
Yeah,
I was
just like, this guy thinks he's like an analyst. He's not good at this at all.
Hi, Ty.
John, do you remember when I was on your show?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I told you no shot too. I think I told everybody no shot.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
This weekend, I was like Sprague, and he goes, "Okay, who's your actual pick?"
Oh my gosh,
you said Sprague?
Yeah, I need to go find that.
Listen, the only reason that it probably came off as cocky to you, Grant, is because a lot of people, and Ty can attest to this, as like a high-level athlete, people don't see like what you do in your training year, and how much one good block of training, even just a 3-week block, can shoot you up. And so I knew, like, man, I put together so many good 3-week blocks that people haven't seen that I'm like, there's no way I haven't come a long way from last year. And so it's just like you have to. As an athlete, you have to somewhat believe in yourself in order to like, do crazy things. And so I just I made it a goal of mine to really believe that I could do these things instead of just say them. So maybe that's why I came off as like arrogant or cocky.
I think that's the wrong word. I think it would be cocky maybe to other people. They're like, oh, he just said top 10. Maybe. To me, it didn't bother me. It came across
cocky at all. I'm pretty sure I had you 10.
Yeah.
Like before
you did. You had him right there.
That's sweet.
That's what's funny what's funny, James, is like we're talking about how I'm dogging you the whole time.
Yeah.
I feel like I was on you the whole year. I was telling people James is going to be
great.
Were.
That was very sweet.
And then it just so happened you were far greater than I thought you were going to be.
Oh, stop. I think that James, Ty's going to have a year just like I did this year too. Like massive
it just
come
got
up.
a lot harder
to watch.
Bro. I agree.
I'd love to.
Hey, so how do you guys feel? Let me ask you this. So does it throw anything off? Because here, let's get into the season stuff real quick. Does it throw anything off with sort of it's a different schedule, right? You've got online semifinals. Obviously, the goal for everybody who wants to make semifinals is to make it through the online portion, but it's less people. So now semifinals, John, what's the difference in date for online semifinals versus when it was last year, roughly? How much earlier is it?
Oh, that's a hard question, Grant.
I think
It's not
like
that hard.
3 or 4.
On
3 or 4
average, it's
weeks.
a month because like I feel
It's a
like
month.
June 1st was the
I
middle
think it's
week
more
last
than
year.
it's April,
thought it was
correct?
more than a
The
month.
online semifinals this year's April. Last
Oh,
year,
yeah.
I thought it was
wanna
May 3rd.
I want to say it was
Yeah, I
June,
thought it was
late April, the weekend. So like it's like 28th to. It
Okay.
starts
Okay.
late April, ends May 3rd. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I can check the dates, but
Well, if it's
yeah,
only
a
a
month
month.
sounds right. I have no idea though off the top of my head. I'm not a date guy. At all. That's a spin. Spin's the dates guy.
Honestly,
Okay,
I'm
so-
a huge fan of it being earlier because it gives you more time to like ease into the games thing. And so many people do games training wrong and think it's just this astronomically larger volume and crush your body. And I'm like, dude, like honestly, peaking for semis was harder than peaking for the games, in my opinion.
That's
Probably
crazy.
more nerve-wracking.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I feel like the game's gonna be more nerve-wracking because I'm like, I feel like I broke through the barrier of like, man, I know what it takes to make the games now, rather than like, okay, Ty's probably questioning what do I got to do in these spots to make the games, and he has the capabilities, but it's more of like, understanding how to go about semifinals, just like how to do quarterfinals really well now. I feel like I know how to do semifinals now well, but we'll see if the online system screws that up.
What's funny is like you're not gonna know if you made it or not before the first in-person semifinals go.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 semifinals that are in person that are before the video process is done of the online semifinals.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shoot.
Yeah.
That throws everything off for me.
Wild.
So wait, what do you here's
So
the
like
question.
I like the May.
Somebody
I guess,
asked this. What do you do? Wrong one. But we'll ask you that some other time. What do you do with this? I'll start with James on this one. So James, what does this look like? Obviously, you want to get in. Are you just going to be trying to get in the online one, or are you actually going to go to an in-person one? Are any of the American ones before the online, or are they the international ones?
Mayhem Classic is before, and then Spain is before.
This is probably a good time. It's probably a good time to announce that I'm going full-time High Rocks.
Oh, that's great. Perfect. Breaking news. I'll text Hiller.
Please. I'm actually doing the Vegas one, and I want to go sub 1 hour because my brother's betting against me. But
are you really doing it?
Jason went sub 1 hour at Crash. Just
I thought you were joking. You're doing it. Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah,
Which one?
No, I'm doing it right after Waza the weekend after. But anyways, back to your question.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, bro. It'll be fun. I'll probably try and do the online one because I'm already planning on competing so many times in person. And the best, I do like this system better than last year because it does give you multiple chances if you screw up. TFX is a month and a half after, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was mid-June.
Yeah.
I know there's tons of them. So if you miss out on one, go peak for the next one. Like I said, you just need a good 3-week block.
So many times.
Mm-hmm.
Like semifinals or like other competitions.
And I'm pretty sure that you can go to whatever, which one. It doesn't have to be in America.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to go to the Spain
Africa,
one, go ahead. Catherine Davis
wait, this could get interesting. Like some of the stuff, it's going to be exciting. As an athlete, I don't think I would like it. From a media perspective, it definitely could get interesting. Like, are we going to see? Because I wasn't around for this stuff when that stuff happened.
Sure.
Are we going to see people go to Africa? Like people that I know from the
States?
Like
Catherine went to Africa in 2019. No, and you won't. You're not going to see it like unless their streaming just got way better because it's still them running it. And
I mean, are people going to go there? When I say see it, I mean, are you're allowed to do that? It
was only 1 or 2 people last time, but absolutely. Yeah. What I think would be hilarious if.
But why wouldn't you? It's like guaranteed to get in.
Vellner, Hopper, James, Justin, like they all ended up going to Africa thinking nobody was going to go. And then it's like the worst competition.
That's hilarious.
Well, that's what I think about Mayhem is everyone's thinking everyone's going to do that one. You
mean the Hatfield Invitational?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it really depends. Rich and Angelo programming that. You know how it's going to look.
Hard
GHDs.
Hard bias.
Yeah. The Mayhem people are going to do good at that one. And that's not, I'm not even saying that's like cheating or anything like that. They just cheating. Train. I don't. They train for the way that they train them for the way that they're going to write it. That's how they write things.
My question is, are each of these sanctionals going to be have boundaries and have, we can only do this amount of events and this amount of days, or can each of them be, a different amount of days and a different amount of events? Because you also, as an athlete, want to take into consideration what you're training for. So I'm curious to see what the parameters they put on each one.
As far as I know, everything is up to them. They pay the bill to be like, hey, we want to be one of the people that send people to the games, and then they go do it. It's their own competition. CrossFit does not have a hand in anything, as far as I know. What?
Do some mountain biking out at Mayhem. Make them all.
I don't know if they're gonna do a mountain biking test. But
Rich, big fan of it, bro.
That would be. I would be for it.
Cool.
You just do 3 laps. First one 3 laps. They got a little mountain range that you go over. I mean, that would be awesome.
Be so
okay, so here's
like a drone.
Okay, so here's a question, James. Let's say if you get in at the first one you expect to, at that point, let's say there's forget everything other than semifinals. Let's say you went to Mayhem and you got in at Mayhem, even if that's not your plan. If you went to Mayhem, got in at Mayhem, would you compete again just to compete before the games, or no? Would you just go to the games?
I feel like I've done too much competing to just come.
Okay.
Like if there's a good money opportunity at this point, I look at it as like, it's still a passion, but it's very much a job where I have to. It's opportunity cost. Each time you go out, you sacrifice training blocks. You sacrifice, time at home with my wife, time at home with my friends, family time. So each thing that I peak for, I want to be intentional for a reason, not just because I love competing, but it has to just make sense. So like, I didn't go to this last reps ahead to take second. The only way you made good money was you got first. Like
that's true.
You have to know what you're signing up for, know what you're capable of, and be realistic. AKA this next reps ahead at Wadapalooza, I am not doing it because it's the same day as Indy. I don't think I could beat the person. I'm not allowed to say their name. I don't think I could beat the person after a full day of Indy. So is it worth the bang for my buck? No. Would it be fun? Yes.
Yeah, you've struggled in tournaments against that person. Anyway, what was I gonna say?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Okay. Also,
I don't think
it's the same
something to bring to.
Oh, it might have changed. The person that I was sure it was, that was referred to me by that person and people involved in reps ahead. The person it was supposed to be. Now this was like a month and a half ago. Maybe it's not anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything, bro. I'm just oblivious.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a tall CrossFit guy that has fun,
I think
bro.
I do know. Okay. So
what
Ty,
about the
then,
World
for
Fitness
you?
Project? Yeah, dude. Let's hear Ty. I haven't heard from Ty in like 5
James.
minutes.
No. Don't do that to him. Hey, okay. So, hey, James,
are you going to compete in that? I'm saying, even if you're not allowed to say, but like if you were, you see what I'm saying? You said extra competing things. That's money. That's guaranteed money.
That did click in my head when I heard extra competing things. I'm just not a good journalist.
That's $30,000 that it's just you get no matter what.
How do you know the numbers?
Don't worry about it.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know the numbers. I just threw that out. I don't know anything.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I think
going down the Rogue Invitational leaderboard. We think so. Like, I don't even know if you're high enough on that.
They put me in 9th, which I'm not mad about. I took 11th at Rogue.
Who put you in 9th?
The World Fitness Project had me like ranked 9th.
So they do have their own rankings, John. You hear that?
Yeah. Well, can you find these rankings anywhere?
No. I don't know where they came from. I was just told that from an anonymous source.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, James, look, we know you were all approached, so it's okay. Like we're not going to announce anything. We know they talked to all you guys, so it's all good.
I don't think there's anything I have to keep a secret. I think that the big thing for me is that I want to make sure I know what I'm signing up for. And right now the dates of the tour events aren't announced in the location. So what if it's 2 Europe events back-to-back months and that gets in the way of games training? So I haven't signed my contract yet because I'm still awaiting details.
Okay.
So these people that have signed them
are
potentially at risk for very much overloading the 2 seasons.
I couldn't imagine.
Well,
yes, I do think it would interrupt training. Yes, I do think it would interrupt training or a good training block. Absolutely. But I could not imagine they would try to conflict hard with semifinals or the games.
I disagree with you there, bro.
Oh, I think I don't at all. Not this year. I think years to come, absolutely.
Yeah, I hope John's right.
Year.
I think they'll do it in a way where it still makes you question. Like, ooh, I could go with this one or I could go. Not in a way that it's a very clear I can do both. That's with the way that I've heard right now is potentially end of May, end of August. And end of May is Syndicate Crown and TFX coming right around the corner.
Oh.
And then end of August is right after the games. So, you're kind of, and then there's Tier Waza. All these, it's hard to find a time nowadays with all the events. So they had to choose some time, right? But I don't think they'll conflict with the games or the online semifinals. I think you're right, but I think it's going to make you have to question it.
I don't think you question it unless there's a $400,000, $500,000 prize at the finals.
At the games,
World Fitness Project.
Oh, but yeah, there's not that yet though. It's like
75K. That's what I'm saying. I think they want to stay in their own lane. We're just another opportunity for the athletes, and then when they can, which is not this year, maybe it's not next year, but it is coming. They're gonna just throw something out there. We're like, hey, bro, you doing the World Fitness Project? Frick yeah, man. Why would I not? Like, it's this much money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much money. You can't not be like, that's more important than the games.
Totally. And
I think that's what they want to do, but that's years down the road.
Yeah. Question for you, Ty. Now that you're seeing all these new options, does it take away from the specialty of wanting to be a games athlete? Like, does that opportunity of like, I want to be a games athlete sound less special now, or does it sound the same to you?
Unless we see like a big exodus of games athletes who go to just do the World Fitness Project and then stop competing in the games, it's still the one that crowns the fittest on earth. So that's the prestige behind it. There's lots of history behind the games. So as someone aspiring to get there, the games is still the prize. Gonna keep my eye on World Fitness Project. Seems cool. But yeah, right now, like the games is still where it's at.
Yeah.
If I was Ty, I would look at it as an opportunity. I'd be like, go to the World Fitness Project. Go do it. That's another spot.
Heidi, you could come on sometime. We'll have Heidi.
I need to find out what dates they're all doing World Fitness Project so I can go to that.
Hit that semifinal.
Hey,
yeah, absolutely.
I knew Heidi was going to say this because she always gives me a hard time. For
Why's
like
Heidi
literally
mad,
for the last 20 minutes or whatever we've been on, the whole time I've been on my phone, I've been trying to post the link. I always do it right when we go live with in the link. And I was just so ADD, like I couldn't get it done. It took me 20 minutes. And I finally got it done.
Spreading holiday cheer right now. Heidi, it's going to be okay.
Heidi's very sarcastic. She's nice, I think.
So
hey, Ty, I don't know if he covered this just now. I don't think he did. But would you go to if money and time and all those things overtraining weren't an issue, no barriers, would you literally go to every semifinals from the first to the last in order for an opportunity to try to make the games? How many? What could you see yourself doing at most?
I don't know. With the online one included, maybe 2 or 3 more. Like it just takes a toll on training. And I mean, as much as I want to break through this year, like I'm looking at the long span, trying to have a long career and eventually win it. So we can't upset training too much or risk injury by competing 4 back-to-back weekends or whatever that is. Like, I think I don't know which ones I'm doing yet. I just need to be smart about it. But kind of prioritize the long game, but still try to punch through this year if the opportunity is there.
I feel like it'd be scarier if you're a fringe athlete. Like I'm trying to think who's somebody in the 30s. Okay. Luke Parker, for instance, right? Jack Rosema, who's not here, by the way. He had church. Jack or Luke Parker, guys like that. We see, we see, what is it? 14 spots, 30 total. And then you get 2 at each of those. So if you either have to be top 14 in semifinals, which is obviously difficult to do, or you have to be top 2 at a live event. I feel like this, John, does this affect folks like, I don't know, Chris Ibarra, right? Me and Ty talked about this other day, but I'm curious about your thoughts because I've never seen him really do that for a competition or for an event. So if he's not in that top 14, I think he's a great athlete, but I'd be worried about him.
You just have to pick the right semifinal. But no. He's not been a guy that can like win the competition. But I mean, I could see him getting second. Like it just depends. Like he can beat really, really good people. Like names.
There's not going to be as many as.
But it's going to be hard. Like I mean, like Jack. It's going to be hard for Jack. It's going to be hard for the Luke Parker. It's going to be hard. I think they can obviously, but it's going to be a a fist fight between people like that to get the last spots. And
if I was Mayhem,
but you have to think about this. It's 10 spots less, but essentially we're getting rid of half of the people that shouldn't be there. Right.
I'm just being real. At an online semi with 20 people making it, you can still potentially have an okay or bad event. With top 2 at an in-person, you cannot have a bad event. You one bad event,
and that's
you're
Chris's
out.
ticket because he doesn't have bad events. He just doesn't have home runs.
Sprague, George Michael's a gay dude who used to sing, and he's referring to you, Ty, when he said the lesbian.
Oh yeah.
That's just Jake. He likes you guys. Go ahead.
Love it.
I can see you looking like a buff lesbian, Ty. Like I can see
there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Honestly,
he's got very clear skin. You know what I mean? Like it's the skin.
It means
you see what I'm talking about? Y'all see it, right?
Young. He's young
the
and
short
he has short hair.
Like yeah.
Ty's handsome.
It's not a bad thing. Ty is handsome. It's not a bad thing.
Dude, I'm trying to get Ty to move here one day. We need some young talent, some young blood out here.
Is Tudor not up there full time?
Tudor's gonna move here sooner than later. I would say in the next year he'll be here.
He's begging him every day.
and then listen to this. Dallin one day will be here too. Bold statement. But Dallin will be here too one day.
All
After
right.
he gets tired of Jason.
Why do you think? Hey, why do you think that?
Because Jason's gonna annoy him to death down there, and
he doesn't want to be in Florida. Florida's not like long term.
No, Florida's great, bro. Just the environment we have here in Liberty Lake, Washington. There's actually a huge stadium and sports facility being built right next to our gym already. It's just this massive complex. It's like we have insane equipment, an insane outdoor area to train. It's very seasonal, good weather for 7-8 months. It's a very professional environment. We got professional jiu-jitsu and MMA fighters out of here too. So it's a really cool gym, bro.
Hey, so, you can have the Sprague Classic next year at that event.
We'll be hosting. Next gen Classic, baby.
I love it. Next gen. I blanked, but so one of my questions. So it's very interesting, obviously, that the programming will be different, John, at each event versus semifinals being the same. Have you ever? Is it possible we could see? So the last one's Oklahoma, right?
I don't know. I don't think I thought there was one.
I think that's the last American one.
Yeah. Okay. It's the last American one.
We could potentially. I don't think this will happen, but you could potentially see
the last one.
Okay, you could see.
Brazil goes
you could
hard.
see Colt. You could see Colton, Taylor, and Ibarra at Oklahoma potentially. I think Colton will get in earlier. You don't think so? Who's going to be in at that point?
Colton's going to qualify online, bro.
Yeah. Colton. I think. Colton
I think so too.
I'm not worried about Colton. I've actually gotten a lot of DMs about Colton. Like, does this hurt Colton? I was like, guys, like, he made the games 3 years in a row, got better every time. Like, I think he's fine. I think he's fit enough that he's going to be fine. It was just a weird year that he didn't come through in the last event. Like, I don't consider Colton a borderline games athlete.
No.
I think Tudor will crush it online too. Go look at all his rogue online performances. He dominates.
Pat. Oh, wrong one.
Double digits.
That was probably something offensive. Pat. James, ever been to Albany? Beautiful in August, and by beautiful, I mean a complete s-hole. Ever been to Albany, James?
No, I went to Buffalo, New York, like twice for my cousins, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine it's pretty similar to Buffalo.
You know what? You got to travel places for your job. Sometimes you don't want to go. And if that's where it goes, that's where it goes. Jake.
That's not true, Jake. John was there. I had like 400 or 500 because I was the only one who went live after the games.
Hey, me and Grant got record-breaking views on our reels from
memes. We got more memes. We're gonna make more.
We're gonna meme so hard at Waza, bro. I literally, I'm holding back from going team just to make memes with you.
I already have like 2 written down on my phone, dude. This guy is really good at me, dude. One day when you have the time, I hope your account becomes like, I don't know, like Ariel's or like maybe not quite to Fusile's level, but this dude's like on the spot. I was like, okay, I think the idea is sort of, and James is like, no, let's just do it. He's like, here's what we'll do. We'll do this, this, and this. He's like improvising. He's like better at it than me.
I just
you and Roderick will make great stuff because he's like that too.
Is Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Yeah.
That is that dude's name. Yes, sir. Meme for times, Roderick.
Yeah.
Grant, you're my favorite meme page, bro. I just gotta be real.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're my third favorite meme page, Grant.
Ooh.
Oh,
John, you're my favorite analyst.
John Woolley.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, bro.
John's favorite meme page is John Woolley.
No, stop.
You actually get more comments on this than I thought, bro. I'm looking at your comments.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, technically, my first live was with James. I was just like at the last minute, let's go live. I didn't tell anybody. It was like 10 at night, and I just clicked live, and like nobody showed up because I had 100 followers.
Yeah, dude.
It was funny. Okay, let's see. We got anything good in here? What's the lovely gray shoes? Okay, that's my shoes. Oh, he's making fun of my shoes at the when we did the memes. Oh yeah, no wife beater.
Yeah, it caught me at a weird time.
So I think we covered it all except John Young. By the way, John Young's doing Grid League. When does it start, John?
Oh yeah, yes, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
give it
on
to
a
us,
grid
baby.
team.
That's fantastic. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I don't think I'm allowed to say the date of the first match.
Okay.
But it's in late May.
That'll
be the first match. Yeah.
Are you gonna be the weightlifter specialist?
I am that guy. Yeah. Right now, I'm still trying to be fit, but it's not like the most priority. I'm not like just cardio 87 hours a week. But like I'm trying to be strong. I want to clean 405 in like 6 weeks. And I'm not worried about my weight. I weighed 204 on the scale this morning, and I was like, we got to accept this. We have to accept this. Like, this is
that too heavy or too light?
That's pretty heavy for me.
Really?
That's probably the most I've ever weighed in my life.
If I saw 204, I would have pneumonia.
You're a lot taller than me, James.
Look at that. The most handsome games winner. Really? Wow, that's crazy.
I don't even have a mullet.
Because we've got Frone. I mean, there's some good looking guys, dude.
Just froning.
You look.
Who else is good looking? Come on.
Not really. I was just not froning.
I think Adler's so hot, bro.
Adler looks like an action figure. Dude. He does. He's freaking Turbo Man reincarnated, but he just has this like deer look, like 24/7.
Yeah.
Or it's just.
Is that the couch?
24/7.
No, the couch is upstairs.
No, okay.
The Savon couch you're referring to?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Savon cannot believe that. He got Dave on his do you guys watch the Dave Savon thing?
Okay, wait. I have to read this. Wait. Heidi's making me read it. And I never get money, so I have to. Yes. Please continue to wear.
It's funny, Heidi, because when I don't wear a shirt, I feel like you comment the same thing. So like you need to make your mind up.
That's awesome.
204 shirtless John.
Well, I don't know if anybody wants to see that. I know I'm fluffy. Like in the mirror, it hurts, but it's just the price you pay when you want to be strong. So
I heard you have a third nipple. Is it true?
I do not. I have puffy nipples. I don't have a third nipple.
If you ever want entertainment, look up Nick Jonas nipples on the internet. They're pretty crazy.
I will not do that.
He has puffy nipples too. I think. I'm pretty sure he's ripped with puffy nipples. It just happens.
The gynomastia thing. It's like too extreme for him.
John, is that because you're on steroids, or is that ever since you were
it's not
a
not
kid?
because I'm on steroids. I've had it for.
Well, John, you're jacked. I mean,
I tell you what, it does not help the steroid thing though. Like it's just because that is something that.
Well, it helps to say I've had it forever. Okay. Anyway, I think we covered everything with semis. Okay. Oh, just one last thing on that. So John, there would be years where if you're training hard and stuff, you'd be like, dang, top 1%. I'm going to give this a shot with grid and everything now and where you're at and the schedule for everything.
I'll be honest with you. There would have to be 2 max out lifts for me to make a 1%.
Yeah. So you're
the
not
best
really
I've ever been was 95 or was 95%. Or 97. I was 97% one year.
Did you do better at quarterfinals?
There was a max lift as 25% of it. So
was quarterfinals better for you than the open has been?
Way better.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Because the open's all endurance, quarterfinals it tends to be heavier and more skilled, and I'm good at all the skills and I'm good at heavy stuff. And it's like one workout that's all endurance, and then so it's only one bad workout for me. So like quarterfinals, I look like I could make semifinals next year. Like I'm like top.
Yeah.
I think I was 350th one year. So like just one hard year, you can make the 160, right? Like that's. But 1% in the open. If it's anything like what the open has been. Now, if they do the opens of old, I could get lucky, right? But
dude, they're gonna change it at least a little bit. They have to.
They had to change it. Like it's got to be 2015, 2017 open type of deal. It cannot be what it is now.
Hey, do you guys remember your 20.1? It's on Hiller Fit for Friday, and I started doing it. It's the one with the 10 rounds, 8 snatches, and just 95 pounds and burpees. Okay, let me tell you guys something. That worked. It hurt my lungs really bad, and I was so happy because my timer and my camera shut off at like 10 minutes, and I'm just like, I'm done.
There's a 15-minute cap though on it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again on Friday.
What are you talking about?
I didn't know how much. I've just used it as an excuse to stop. I'm going to do it again on Friday, but it was really cold. We didn't turn the heat on. And what's funny is I started being able to speed up. It was like the first round or two. It was like the cold air inside the gym, and it hurt my lungs so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is killing me already. But yeah, that workout sucked. Do you remember it, Ty? You were like 12.
I didn't do the open in 2020.
In 20? Oh wow.
I wasn't doing CrossFit yet.
He was still a zygote, bro.
I say I had a much better time with that workout, breaking up the snatches. I went 5 and 3 and then did the burpees, and it was like I was like 4 minutes faster than
I didn't know what to do.
Unbroken. This was like years out. I might have just been fitter too, because it was like years after I actually did it.
The burpees don't bother me at all. I don't do them fast. I just do the step up. I can keep going on those. If I do the 95,
not a fast workout. You shouldn't move fast unless you're James. You shouldn't move fast.
Yeah. Okay. So if I do even 95, since I'm not a good Olympic lifter, if I do it as 5 and 3 or unbroken, I'm so tired. I have to take like 20, 30 seconds. So honestly, for me to get my best time, I think I just do singles, even though 95 isn't that much.
Well, then you shouldn't be out of breath ever. That workout's not that bad if you just do single snatches, Grant. You're resting the whole time. What are you talking about?
I was good at what's that one? My favorite ones, I think, is at 19.4 that was snatches and burpees. And then muscle ups, you get a break in the middle, I think. That's one of my favorite ones.
My dad's the king of singles. He does single toe to bars. He does single deadlifts on every workout. He'll never touch and go anything.
Hey, and he's a games athlete too. Right, James? Yeah.
Yeah, 2011, 2016,
That's
2021.
true.
Every 5 years. He's going again this year is his goal.
Whoa.
When he ages up, he makes it one time. And then he's out. He's good.
Yep,
Pat
he's 60 this next year, bro.
That's
so he's
the best. That's so great that it's spaced apart.
Dude, I love it. And so right now I'm at 4 games appearances. He's at 3. And so he's really pissed. So he wants to catch me. But I'm like, you're not going to catch me. I'm going to keep doing it every year. So he's mad, bro.
Pat did clean and jerks for the 95 because it was just ground overhead. I tried that in the middle and I was like, no, this is harder. Okay, let's do some Christmas stuff. Then we'll do the Bible verse. Hey, just so you guys know, this is typically our, we're doing some CrossFit, some Christmas. It's kind of a fun episode. Typically, this is, what do I call it? Bible study with the boys or something. We're all Christians. So we're going to do some scripture at the very end. But until then, we're going to talk Christmas real quick. Thank you, Jake. Always thank you on the Bible study podcast. No, you're welcome here, Jake. All right. So Christmas, I just want to go around the room real quick. Some fun stuff here real quick. Christmas traditions. And I want to start with James because James is newly married. He's in a new house. You've got some old traditions. Do you have some new traditions yet? Have you established any traditions this year?
Okay. So typically, my family does Yahtzee for Thanksgiving, but like last year we did it on Christmas too, and we'll do a big tournament. But yeah, kind of just hang out, eat a really big breakfast. My dad's making pancake puffs tomorrow. It's like pancakes in a ball, and you leave a little like dough in the middle. Oh, dude, so good. And then I'm a big getter. I don't give anything, so I open all the presents and make everyone watch me. Just kidding,
I know.
Honestly, not many traditions besides big food, play a lot of games, hang out, and really, really understand the true meaning. I think I've really tried to immerse myself in that the last few years since I was, baptized. Just like not just celebrate it as a pagan holiday, but celebrate it for the true meaning of Christ coming into this world, being crucified and dying for our sins.
Yeah. Not detaching the meaning from
totally
the consumerism and stuff. I agree. We've done we do like just Bible studies with my daughter and wife. I started in Luke, but then I ended up veering off into Proverbs because Proverbs is really good with kids. You're just like, you see this? Obey your parents and it will be well with you. Like all of Proverbs is like, listen to your parents. All right, John, Christmas traditions. Are you going to, you've got one new member of the family.
He didn't listen and bears came and ate them. That's what happens.
That's awesome. What's for dinner, James? Is it the same thing every time? Like, is it a ham? Is it turkey? What do you guys eat?
Oh, dude, I make everyone eat Ice Age meals. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course.
I don't think we're doing dinner, honestly. I don't think we've done a Christmas dinner in a long time. But, I eat anything and everything besides tomatoes and olives, so.
That's a good one, Jake. Jake likes to lay in a manger and let people bring him. He was a baby. He couldn't give gifts. All right. John, do you have any traditions that you and your wife have established or with your family at all?
No, not really. Like we're kind of by ourselves down here. This is the first year my parents are in Texas. Or my parents live in Texas now, and this is the first year.
Oh yeah,
they do. We're pretty far away from everybody. Before this year, her family lives in Missouri. Mine used to live in South Dakota. So, but no, I think the game plan is I'm actually going to go to the gym and lift with a guy. Who works out with me. His name's Zach. At 7.
You can do that.
And we got back squats and cleans, and so we'll probably be there for an hour. He's just been like just working out with me, getting the fittest that he can be, and then I'll come home. Leslie will probably still be asleep. She wakes up at 9 every day, so when she wakes up,
love it.
We'll probably eat breakfast, go do lunch or dinner with my parents, and then that's probably it. We're not she's 3 weeks from having the baby. So we're kind of just easy. Everything's easy peasy. We're not trying to be stressed out. We're not doing a lot of presents for nobody. Like we're just taking the holiday, right?
Hunker down.
Yahtzee game. Next time you come to Crash, let's get a Yahtzee game.
Do it, bro. I'm due for a good Crash session.
Brock, what is that avatar, bro?
He's flexing.
Oh,
dude.
Yeah, bro.
He's showing his gains.
Is this a different Brock Kirby?
No. Brock's not known enough yet to be replicated.
No, I'm saying I can't see that Brock having a shirtless picture of himself on a YouTube account.
Well, it's to be honest, you could have your picture from like 4 years ago. Like James's picture on his YouTube, he was like 17. And I was like, James, please change that picture.
Just
you don't even realize it. No, yeah. No. All right, Ty, I know you are going to rescue us here. Although James's traditions were pretty good. I'm
sorry, I'm so trash.
No, it's fine. You're allowed.
Simple's
okay,
Simple's cool. What
are you guys gonna do? You got any traditions?
Nothing too crazy. We kind of just spend the day with like our family, my brothers, my parents, and then my grandparents come down, and like we just kind of let life slow down for a little bit, enjoy being around the family. So nothing too exciting.
Ty, Ty needs to hang with girls. He's gonna get married.
Ty doesn't need to do anything. Let Ty be.
No, you're right. All right, fine. He's only 8. Are you still 18 or are you 19?
Yeah, I'm 18.
You should see Ty's DMs, bro. All the CrossFit young girls are all
ladies,
over him, bro.
That scares me to death.
I don't know about that.
Do you still know like the up and coming teens, Ty? Are you like kind of like at that age now where you don't really pay attention to the teens anymore?
No, he's connected.
Well, I was like at the teen games this year helping kids out, mostly just dealing with nerves. Those 14-year-olds they're scared.
Way worse, bro.
But I try to keep up with them just because I enjoy it. I like seeing young kids be passionate about something. Too many of them are inside playing video games. So
Ty, you did more than that. Didn't you get a contract or a offer to? You did some commentating, and didn't they ask you back to do the same thing next year?
No, I might be the MC next year, which would be fun.
Okay.
But this year I was just there hanging out, having a good time, helping them out in the warm-up area. So,
cool. Dude, I might have to join you next year because I did it a few years ago. It was really fun, and we actually me and Dallin announced their swim workout for them for their competition. I remember everyone walks outside. Me and Dallin are doing muscle ups and swimming. Everyone's like, "No way!" It was actually really fun.
There is no venue I've been to that worked harder than that Pitt Teens venue.
Oh, dude.
They were there at 4 a.m. They were there till midnight all 3 days. They were like crushing it.
It's a passion project, bro. You can tell it's not. They don't do it for profit. They do it because they want to see kids thrive, and it's really awesome.
All right, have any of you guys seen a workout?
Go ahead.
Are they doing the Christmas till Taylor?
Have any of you guys seen? Yeah, they are doing a Christmas one. Have all three of you? Have any of you seen a workout that you specifically remember? Like, oh man, I think that was a good one for me. If I had the time, dude, was that yours, Ty? Swimming burpees.
Could you have beaten Matthias? Because he was pretty filthy.
I didn't end up watching it.
Okay. But he swam for Navy, so like he's.
Oh,
I specifically asked Ty. I gave him the times and everything. This was a while ago, and I will say that Ty, based on what Ty's done in the past, he did think he would have won that. Now, would he have? I don't know. But I gave Ty the times, and he said, yeah, I think I would be this.
From Matthias or Taylor?
For whatever the fastest was. He thinks he was competitive with it. He thinks he could have won.
Well, should have called in.
Yeah, we don't have an indoor pool within like 35 minutes of us. So,
yeah. Sprague, what about you? Have you seen one at all that you're like, oh, that was a good workout for me if I would have called in?
I think I could beat him in any of them that don't have handstand push-ups.
Oh, snap. You got to call in sometime.
I think I can only beat him in the ones that have handstand push-ups. No, there was the rowing bench one.
Yeah.
The rowing bench press one. I called in, ready to go, saw it, went to the gym, was like, I'm about to ruin Taylor forever, because he's always said if I ever beat him in an actual workout, he would just like quit at life, right? And like I cannot believe he picked this. It was 21, 15, 9, 15, 21. Row cows, bench press was 70s. Okay.
Yep.
That's the workout.
Ooh, I like that.
And it's just, and he broke like 87 times with the 70s, right? Obviously he's rowing fat. Everything's efficient, right? I'm like, I'm just gonna cruise and just bench press unbroken. And I was ready to do it. And then I called in, I'm on the waiting list. And then the next guy they announced was Colton Mertens. And then I was like,
oh, I remember.
And I hung up the phone. And then I hung up the phone. I was like, no, F that. I'm not messing with that. That's terrible. And then Colton. So I did the workout and I beat Taylor by 20 seconds. So it would have been glorious. But Colton beat it by like a minute and a half or something, like something ridiculous.
Yeah, and you beat Jack too. I'm not going to give too much away, but in the text that we have, remember Jack said he did it. He had like just got done with the games, and he admittedly had taken a little bit of a break. He did that workout a few hours later and was like, "Yeah, my time was so and so." You beat Jack, Rosema.
Oh, I don't remember that conversation, but
yeah, he said he call in during my bachelor week.
That's right.
And, that was amazing.
That was a great one, dude. The strategy and stuff, that was nuts.
We had a whole team behind him. We saw the workout. We mob over to the gym right before my rehearsal, and we're late to the rehearsal because of it. And so I'm texting my wife, "Hey, this is really important. Like we need to get this done." And we're like, "This is going to boost Tudor's confidence to the moon. We need him to win this. It'll set him up for success." So I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad he won.
It was
awesome. Is he not a confident person?
No, he's gotten a lot better. I think that he is the most, and I stand by these words, I think he's the most physically scary, talented athlete that I've seen in CrossFit. If he can keep figuring it out upstairs, his physical capabilities when he believes in himself are very scary.
Do you think he's like a Neil Maddox?
Explain more. That's too old for me.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I know who it is. I just never watched him compete.
Okay. I mean, he just like had training videos of like just doing crazy things. And like Jason Khalipa, he trained with Jason Khalipa, and Jason's on record saying like 90% of the time, Nick wins. He beats me in everything. But then when we get to the games, it's just a different story. And like, this is like 2014 time when Jason got like third place. Like he was still, relevant, not 2015 where Jason was nothing. Right. You're right.
I mean, it really goes down to like competing on the floors and art. And that's why I never beat Dallin till this year, is because Dallin was so good at the art of competing and the whole warm up, compete, cool off, sleep, how to limit your social life at a competition. Like it's such an art that you have to really figure out over the years. And so, if you're really good in training, you've mastered training. If you're really good at competing, you've mastered that art of competing. And I think that a lot of competitors don't realize how different it really is communicating with a judge, getting warmed up and cooled down, not getting to start the workout on your own time. There's just so many factors that can limit you. And if you have any bit of mental midgetness, you don't figure out that art.
It's not nice to talk about Colton like that, James.
But, here's a good one. Hey, you guys saw Hiller's video
this was so dumb, dude.
I thought it was funny.
No, not Hiller's video, just the original video. I know I'm not meaning to trash Jason Khalipa right now.
I don't understand what happened. I could freaking do that. I literally could.
Yeah, you can't. So Khalipa,
why'd he drop?
No, you don't understand. Khalipa made this post that, hey, this is hard to do, and got amped for it. And he's in his jiu-jitsu clothes. I think they just try to do it after sparring practice or whatever they're doing. And he's like, let's go. And to hang on a pull-up bar and then hold a 53-pound kettlebell with one hand for 5 seconds. That's it. And he couldn't do it. He was falling off. 53 was all he had. And Hiller posted this in the group chat, the locker room. And he's like, is this not but he posted it like this is something to be really proud of. And I'm not trying to dog on him, but Hiller was it's not the most unimpressive thing you've ever seen in your life. And I'm like, we'll see. I have terrible hanging endurance. My hands are small. Look at them. They're fat. They're small. I'm not good at grip endurance at all. And I was like, we'll see, we'll see how I do. And I did 80 for 10 seconds. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know why he's so happy with this. And then Hiller freaking did it with 190 pounds.
That's a good one, Kenneth. Good one.
We're just saying, why post this? It's James, it's if you squatted 405, that's it. Just 405 one time. And you got all amped for it. You right now, James. Yeah. And you got all amped for it. And we're like, can anybody squat over 405? Yes or no? And put a vote on there. If you posted that, do you not think people would be like, bro, what are you doing right now?
I didn't even know he posted that. I thought he pulled it from a smaller part of a larger video. I did not know Khalipa posted that.
No,
that's
this is recent.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's been things where I look back at what I posted. I look back at the day and I'm like, personally, that was a huge win because I never thought I could do it. But then I realized millions or let's just call it thousands of people can do that. But I'm just proud because I've never done it. Maybe he was coming off that way. Maybe that was his intention.
I get that, but when it's so minuscule, you know what I mean?
I just got 3 air squats in a row. Look at me.
Yeah.
Every Gymshark model going to the gym does 3 air squats, takes a picture and leaves. And it makes me mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I got 10 ring muscle ups the first time, I thought in my head, this was before I did any of the keeping it real stuff. I didn't know much about anything about elite athletes. And I remember literally thinking in my head, oh, so I do about as many as all the people at the games and stuff. I didn't know it was possible to do 20 or 30. I thought doing 10 was the maximum. I'm like, well, I suck at everything, but I can do as many ring muscle ups as the elite athletes. And
it's not about being proud of yourself that you did something, even though a lot of people could do it, but it's really a big, it's not about that. It's it's such a really small thing that you know what I mean? For instance, when I did the 100 burpees, I was out of my body when I did that in 459. And it was just
that was crazy.
Huge thing that my body hurt for a really long time. And I posted the fire out of that. I was so proud of that.
Yeah.
Everybody I talked to, not you, Grant, but everybody else that I talked to can beat that number. But I was super proud of it.
I appreciate that.
If I did that in 7 minutes, I would not post it.
So, John, I have a serious question. This was back in February. Our 24.1 time was similar, and I feel like I was slow. How was the 100 burpees different than 24.1? Why were you fast at that? This is a serious question. I'm not coming at you. I'm curious what the
So
difference.
I had done a lot of burpees in between those two things. Like after quarterfinals that year, I was like, and like
you were
did
better.
a ridiculous amount of burpees. Yes, like a lot better, but I also say like for that workout, I did it once, did not do it again, didn't care to. Like I blew up in the middle of it. I tried to pace it and still blew up. Like my back blew up.
Yeah.
And it just was like I was just not having it. I was like, I don't care about this workout. You have to be in the top 25%. The open's stupid. Like I hate this. Like ever since the open became 80% cardio, I've hated it. So like I had that mindset, just a terrible mindset to have. If I did it again, which I probably should just do it again. I feel like I could probably be sub 9. It wouldn't be anything crazy, but I could probably sub 9.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would have wanted to be. I feel like that was the first time I found out that you can be mentally just defeated by a workout versus physically. Like I literally took a break on the last 9 snatches. At 5, I went over to like the rig behind me and stopped for 5 seconds and then did 4 more snatches. Nobody on earth, even a below 50% athlete ever, needs to take a break on the last 9 snatches. So the funny thing is, even though I'm not in as good of shape as I was then, I feel like I've mentally had workouts where I had to enter a darker place, even though my time is slower than what it would have been at the beginning of the year. Okay, we're way over. I'm going to wrap this up. We'll do the Bible verse and stuff so we can get you out of here. Real quick, though, I wanted to cover this no matter what because I love movies. I want to hear everybody's favorite Christmas movie, and then we'll do the Bible verse thing. Christmas movie.
All right. Can we go first?
Go first, Sean.
Okay. I don't know if it counts as a Christmas movie, not Die Hard, but I don't know if it counts as a Christmas movie, but it's my favorite movie to watch in the Christmas season. We watch it every year. And it's the Family Man, Nicolas Cage.
That's an underrated one.
If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. I love it. The Family Man. Check it out. Check it out. It's I'm not gonna ruin it, but like
Nick Cage.
I love it. I love it. It just hits me in the feels.
I love that.
It's like a modern version of It's a Wonderful Life. That's all I'll say. You guys will enjoy it. It's entertaining. All right, Ty, you're up.
I don't know. Like, I feel like we watch Elf every year, and it's just a classic. Yeah. The Jim Carrey Grinch, like these are basic. But I will say, we watched Carry On last week.
Carry On, bro.
That was so good.
Not really a Christmas
you guys watched
movie,
that?
but really good. It was
kind of is.
I didn't think it was all that. Everybody thinks it's amazing. Everybody's got your reaction. I'm like, it just felt like another action movie to me.
I texted everybody I knew. I texted John.
I know,
I was like, go watch this.
It was suspenseful. I liked the constant suspense.
It was so suspenseful. I just felt like it was a good, hey, if you're at home with your significant other or at home by yourself on a Friday night, like, it was fun to watch. It was something to do. I didn't think it was the greatest movie ever. I was entertained by it. James, all right. Favorite Christmas movie?
Man, I really have a bad memory with movies, but I've watched a few this year already. And I guess I like Christmas movies, but I'm just going to go with a movie that's really been on my heart and I've watched a few times. The new Ronald Reagan movie was so good. I loved watching his presidency. I didn't
even see it.
That came out of left field.
I know, bro. I know, man. It just got me in my feels. I really love who he was, what he represented, his values. His love with him and his wife was really just beautiful to watch. He seemed like a very, very, very genuine, caring president, not selfish in his endeavors, really just wanted to help the country. And I think during this time
I don't even know
now,
what this is.
It's a Holocaust movie.
What is this? Oh, he's joking, dude. It's
it's
like the saddest movie ever.
That's joking. A bad movie.
It's honestly a good movie, but it's the saddest movie ever.
Very sad.
He won because he got me to pull it up because he tricked me.
He really did.
I had to do a double take when I read that.
Yeah, right. The Ronald Reagan is a really great movie, especially right now when everyone's in fear because Kamala didn't get voted in. And I know we're all really sad.
Terrible.
Yeah, terribly sad.
You live in Washington, don't you?
Yeah, dude. I'm in a lot of fear right now. You can see it in my eyes.
We don't deal with that in Texas, brother.
We're
having a good time, man. It's
dude, good time.
I'm not going to say anything about anything, but did you take, I'm not saying anything about anything, but did you take Halpin's survey for the morning chalk up?
Is that the one guy?
Do you remember? He sent it out to like you. It would have been sent out to you.
It was an anonymous survey, right?
Known and noble.
Yeah. I think I did it. It was a bit ago though.
Okay. I was just curious. Yeah.
It was
okay.
Anonymous.
Okay. Yeah.
A while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
All right, mine's Christmas vacation. I like
Keep going, Grant.
Vacation.
Follow your line of questioning.
Sure. No, I don't have a line of questioning. The thing that I asked Halpin, and I didn't want to continue it with him, but there's like a logical error in it, and it's simply that. So it's an anonymous survey, right? And you send it out to all these people. 250 athletes replied, and the problem is that he says some of them let him know that they took it. And I think he told me, I can't remember the number. I think it was only 40 or 50. Don't quote me. They came back and said, okay, I took it. And so here's the thing. Like, if you've got a link of people taking it, you can send that link out to other people. You can either take it yourself a bunch of times or do it from a different computer, from your phone, vote 3 times. The problem with it is that when you're the morning chalk up and you're supposed to be the highest standard of journalistic integrity.
Stop.
To me, it's like, but that's what they make themselves. Yeah. My point is that it very much, I'm not saying anybody committed fraud, but it's completely open to it just being taken over. Like Brett Fikowski could have voted, nothing against Brett. I like Brett as an athlete. He could have voted 100 times and then the results would look a lot different.
He likes him, James.
Whatever.
He likes him as an athlete.
I'm glad you like him.
I like Brett. I like Brett. Yeah, have you guys heard of that guy? He's pretty good. I've been watching him. I think he's an up and comer.
Just call him by his last name.
That'll help you.
Fikowski. Yeah. Let's just do that.
Ty's out.
Okay,
Ty's out.
Anyway, Ty's like, I haven't talked in 20 minutes. I'm out of here. Poor guy.
He
didn't get to share his followers. Hey.
I removed him. Darn it.
The
okay, cool. Let's
Christmas
do the verse
past.
thing.
Got kicked out.
Yeah, that's so funny. I was literally
can I
just dressed up
as
as
a quick question. You do not have to
Christmas
answer if you want
meme,
to.
But...
And if either of you guys got to get out of here, then we don't have to talk about it. But can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, James, I know you have training. You can go if you need to.
I don't have training. I'm on deload, bro. I got
do any things like that, and like you guys might not consume anything. You might not consume anything, so it might not matter to you at all. And I'm a part of this. Do any of like outside media of those, like just any of those people, do they ever like bother you guys in any way, either talking bad about you or you think they have their own propaganda? I'll say, because like we're not at war with like that's a bad way to put it, but like some of us really don't like other people of us, and I wonder if the athletes have those same opinions, or if we're not even in the minds of y'all at all.
And
I'm talking about guys that write articles, morning chalk up, obviously Sevon, Barbell Smith, Coffee Pods and Wads, Brian Friend, all of us.
I think I used to look at that media attention as like, oh, it's either really cool or really degrading. And now I'm just like, it's just their job, man. Like you can't look at it as like the objective truth all the time too, because they get things wrong and they have biases in how they're writing, even if they don't want to say they do. So if you as an athlete, if you let that stuff, get to your head, or you let it define you, or limit you in some ways, then that's your problem. And these guys aren't going to stop. So just let them talk, let them chirp, let them say whatever they want, even if it's false. They could go out and say James Sprague's, I made a post last February that was me dressed up as a girl. They could say James Sprague goes transgender. I just laugh. Like they just, they make up stories out of something that may look close to it.
Yeah.
And you don't know what genitalia I have.
I have a good guess.
I have a guess. Yeah. Hey,
you not the two you're thinking of, bro.
I think John, I think John had what was it? Definition. I think John meant like the divide. There's a divide down the middle of CrossFit. Basically, liberals and conservatives. You see one people with an agenda.
Yeah, morning chalk up is like the Democrats at CrossFit, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and look, here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. And do you guys feel like that?
I know I know
Yeah.
every person here gives a crap about Lazar. I know that for a fact in these four people, but there's very different responses to it. And it seems very divided down liberal and conservatives. Do you guys notice that, see that? Does it affect you in any way? I'm curious about that.
Well, we're on a faith podcast, so let's talk about faith. Why is it easier for a conservative to get over death easier? Because conservatives typically have faith in Christ or faith in the afterlife. Yeah. Let's just broaden it out, afterlife. So we look at that correlation. They're not as heavily impacted by death because they believe it's a new beginning. So then if you're on the left, you're like, this is the worst thing ever. And yes, it is a tragedy. It's a worldly tragedy that sucks and it's devastating and it hurts and we mourn and Christ mourns for tragedies like that too. But what we don't do, what the right doesn't do, is they don't let that define their lives. They don't let the death, even if say it were my brother, right? It would suck. I would be mourning for a long time, but I would want to rise up and honor my brother with my craft and know that I'm going to see him later again in heaven. And that's a belief that helps. I think great. The left and the right see death differently. So that's my opinion on it.
And you think that's coming
a really
out
good point
with the people?
If there's not, if you don't have
media
hope,
outlets who do CrossFit.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can see that if you don't have hope, that you're going to see death as a much more tragedy than if you have hope in the afterlife. And that's why I think if there's a 0.00001% that Christ existed, why wouldn't you take that chance and give your life to him? Why wouldn't you take that chance and show up to church and just learn more about who is this Jesus guy, right? 0.0001% chance.
And what's the other option? Nothing.
The other option is you
Nothing.
live for your own ways and
I'm saying when you die, what happens? Nothing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
there's nothing to live for.
Totally. And that's why people try and maximize worldly pleasure in this life too. And if we don't, and if you have that mentality of it's all going to be end and over, then why not just go live today like it's your last day? Why not go get drunk? Why not go to the strip club? Why not go do all these worldly things? Why not go do everything that feels good in the moment, right? I understand where they're coming from. They don't have the same beliefs.
Ty.
That makes sense.
Well, I was looking it up just because of something Sprague said. There's this old C.S. Lewis quote that I really like. He said, "Christianity, if false, is of no importance, but if true, is of infinite importance." And yeah, I just like that. It's a good way to look at it. But to circle back to the original question, I don't consume really any of the CrossFit news stuff. Like I follow the accounts, but I don't see a whole lot of it. So I'm not sure who's on Morning Chalk Up's team and who's on Barbell Spin's team. I'm assuming that's the two teams that are going after it.
There's a lot of people. I don't think anybody's going after anybody.
Okay.
It's just very. There's a solid
lot of them
in like what people put out. Is it?
That's just a sharp disagreement.
If a reporter or whatever you want to call the people from Morning Chalk Up or Barbell Spin want to come spend a week and like with me and training, then I might care what they have to say about me. But everything else is just speculation. I mean, there's no way they know anything. So
to your point, Ty, I invited Hiller out to do 48 hours with me because I'm like, hey man, like I know you have a very wide audience, a lot of people that hate you, a lot of people that love you. Like I think it'd be fun to like, spend 48 hours with you and show you what we do here so people can kind of see. I haven't done a great job at showing people what my environment's like here and why I succeed and what I'm a huge believer that my environment is why I succeeded this year, not because I got that much better at CrossFit. It's because I had a way better environment, way better people around me. So, yeah, man, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I hope he gets out there.
He's coming.
You think it's going to happen?
Sweet.
Nice.
People think Hiller's like
I'm
just
so
dick.
pumped.
And he's the nicest guy in the world when you meet
So
him in
awesome.
person.
Reps ahead was way better with him this time around too. The Pro 5, just having him at the briefings, having him on the show. People like hate him or love him, and I'm like, man, I actually really like what he does. He says some controversial things. A lot of it has a lot of truth behind it.
I mean, and he tries to back it up with as much fact as possible.
Yeah, nicest dude in the world. And Alexis too.
Sporty Beth.
Yeah. He bought me a banana at the gas station.
Yeah, buddy.
I still have that banana.
All right, versus.
Let's go.
I'm just kidding. All right, versus.
Are we supposed to prepare something?
Cool.
Because I was not aware.
I'll just do mine first because mine's really quick.
What is it? What are we doing?
Oh, you can do whatever. I don't really care.
Well, you didn't. You can't tell me what we're doing.
Hey,
I
have
said,
an idea.
like, bring a verse.
Why don't we
or something.
just share a verse that makes us think of like Christ and Christmas? Like why are we celebrating Christmas? Obviously, like Jesus came into this world. He was born from Virgin Mary. That. But like, what makes you think and embody Christmas? I mean, you can share a verse, you can share a moment, whatever makes sense for you.
I didn't have my credit card on me for the banana or the drop-in at
Got you, bro. Banana Jocko, bro. Right here.
I literally wore all black when we did a drop-in with Hiller, so that in case he was like looking at my reps, I was really terrified. Nice guy though. All right, I'll do mine first because it's quick. Okay, so it's in Luke, and it's chapter 2, and it is, where the heck did it go? Okay, I like Mary's response. This is totally like obscure, but I really like this. Okay. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay. Luke 2:17. So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. And I've always loved that because it's like an interesting aside. Everybody is like responding immediately, fear, worship, pray, all this stuff. And when the shepherds start talking about who Jesus is going to be and how the angels showed up and were like singing glory to God in the highest when Jesus was born, Mary treasured these things in her heart and pondered them. I think I like this because it's the opposite of me, right? Mary's not impulsive. Mary went off and was like thinking about them and what they might mean. And I just think it was a super cool response that's kind of different from what you see other people's responses as. So she treasured them in her heart and pondered them. And that's my little verse that I like. That's me. I'm done.
That was awesome. That was beautiful. I'll go next. Mine's same in Luke. It's kind of summing up Christ's life. I know more people like to do that around Easter, but at Christmas time too, I like to think he was born and what was his mission. And this Christmas, I'm really thinking about his mission, what he was born for. And, so Luke 23 is where I'm in. And then Luke 23, verse 39. And then I kind of just going through almost the end here, 39 through 49. Let's just say that. So one of the criminals who was hanged and railed with him, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we are receiving the due reward for our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." And he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come in your kingdom." And he said, "Truly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." And then we'll just skip forward to verse 46 because I thought this was very powerful. Yep. Then Jesus, calling out with a loud voice, said, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." And having said this, he breathed his last. So I really like this ending and the picturing the criminals next to him and one of them recognizing his divinity, one of them recognizing, not recognizing it at all. And this is just beautiful because we have a choice. We have a choice to see Christ as he truly is in the Bible, or we have a choice as this other criminal to deny who he is and take our own way. And so for me, when I look at these verses and this ending of how Jesus, his last words, he committed his spirit to God. He committed his entire life. And you saw it in his whole walk in the gospel from when he was born to this moment when he breathed his last, that he committed his spirit entirely. So I really just love this verse. I love the ending of Luke and the gospel and how he gave his life. Just, it's the biggest sacrifice you can make is laying down your life.
Even his death. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like,
man,
up until that point, he gave everything, including his death. And I think the greatest part about that is like substitutionary atonement, his life for ours, for all the times that we fail or aren't able. Is somebody saying Tolly?
Totally.
Oh, totally. I thought your mouth wasn't moving for a second. And I thought somebody was like randomly in the background. All right. So he gave his life for ours, and now like we get his perfection, right? So all the times that we're tired and that we mess up, or if we give into temptation, whatever it is, like Jesus, everything he did was for the glory of God and for the love of people. Like that was his mission. He loved people, was there to redeem them, and he obeyed and glorified the Father. He never, like, I think of it this way. When Jesus slept, he literally slept to have the strength to continue on working for what his purpose was. I sleep just to sleep. I sleep because I'm lazy sometimes.
Yeah. Ending on that too.
And then you see his death. He gave to the Father. Yeah.
I really like in verse 43 there that it says, today you will be with me in paradise. We were just talking about the afterlife and death. It's like, no, when you die, you immediately start the best thing in eternity. Like today you will be with me in paradise. You're not going to wait around after you die. There's no, like Jesus tells you right here, you're going to be with him right when you die. And there's complete comfort when you put your faith in him. So it's just like there's no fear in death. There's no fear in the afterlife. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Even if it may seem like a tragic way to go, we have to keep our eyes set on what we're receiving through death.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Preach, baby. Love it. Thanks, James. Ty, you got something?
Yeah, I got, first off, Kenneth, yes. Sometimes the smirks are from your comments. So I have two verses from Isaiah and then one from the New Testament. But the reason I like the Isaiah verses is I'm a numbers guy. I'm a nerd. I can be cynical at times. I want proof. I want crazy things and so most scholars wrestle with when Isaiah was born. A lot are going to say when Isaiah, the book was written. A lot are going to say 700 years before Christ was born. But no one will deny the fact that it was at least 250 years before, because we have copies of Isaiah in circulation at that time. So at least 250 years before Christ's birth, Isaiah 7:14, therefore the Lord will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel. Isaiah 9:6, for us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. There's something so special and cool about the prophecies that predicted Jesus's birth, that it makes me smile every time I think about them, and how there's hundreds of them that all point to this moment that changes human history. And that's what's so cool and so meaningful about Jesus' birth. And then my New Testament actually ties into a lot of Heidi's comments earlier, but Philippians 2 is one of my favorite chapters in the whole Bible. But starting in verse 6, it's talking about Jesus.
I just read this today.
Who, being in the very nature of God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. So, and then continuing, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. And so the whole Heidi was talking about the crappy situation of the stable, like there was no room at the inn. Like Jesus chose to humble himself. He could have come down on a white horse with chariots of fire and 10,000 angels, but he chose to come down humbly and live his life as a servant and be humble to and obedient to even death. But all that even makes me so excited for his second coming, because then we get to see the Jesus that some of us wanted to see in the Old Testament, where he walks in and conquers Rome and is atop this horse with a sword. Like sometimes, you want Sparta 300 from Jesus, but he decided to come down humbly and to serve others and set that amazing example. And then we're going to get that awesome coming of Christ the second time with power. So that's why Philippians 2 is one of my favorites.
Good stuff, bro. It's been a while since I've been in Philippians. I'm just reading the entire chapter 2 right here. It's just
and one thing on that. Good. Yeah. And it says the reason why, like, I love verse 5 right before what you read. In your relationships with each other, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. And it's like, okay, well, if God literally came as a man and like put on flesh, and think about this, this is like literally God, and he's just letting himself get harassed, beaten, and all these different things. And it says to us, in your relationships, have the same mindset. It means like, and I could tell you that I violate this at times, and then I have to go back and think about it. And, but like forming the habit of maybe not being hurtful towards people who try to hurt us. You know, it doesn't mean that we're never going to have a short fuse and react to somebody, but considering ourselves, low, like Christ did, like realizing that we're all sinners and that we're dust basically, and that our value is being made in the image of God. When you take that view, suddenly it's hard to be prideful. And I guarantee you, all four of us have some sort of relationship with pride, as men, as athletes, whatever you want to say, right? So I love that part that it says, have this same mindset.
I mean, and he was so different from everyone, like, just because, like, the men in us, and even in the Old Testament, like David cuts off Goliath's head, and then in the New Testament, Peter cuts off the ear of the guard that comes to arrest him. Like, we want to respond. That's how we want to deal with things. But like, if we're attacked, we want to attack back. But Jesus was like, no, let this happen. Like, just the craziest thing. And so that's what's so beautiful about all of it, because he definitely had the power to fight back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Peter, I can relate to Peter. John, you relate to Peter too sometime?
Yeah. Me and Peter are tight.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm going to say what's up. Like, when I get to heaven, he'll be one of the top 5 I talk to.
I've been so my best friend, we did some type of Bible study. This was like years ago, but and then at the end we had to, like, after all we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. You chose which disciple that your best friend was most like, and people unanimously said that I was most like Peter. So I could see it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Hey, John, did you say
cool
you didn't bring one? Cool. It's okay if you didn't.
No, I got it. Okay.
Okay.
This is what I first. So James said, just something that makes you think of Christmas. It kind of runs in the vein of what you guys have brought up, but I was slightly unprepared, so I apologize. But I'm gonna roll with John 1:1, but through 10, not just John 1:1. That way we get the whole scope of things. But we talked about the chosen before we went live, and there's a very like memorable scene of John just struggling to figure out what he wants to write. He wants to write a book. He sees Matthew writing things all the time. Freaking Matthew, always writing things. And then he's like, I want to do something too. And he can't. He's got writer's block. And then there's a moment where he's just looking at Jesus, and like it just all hits him. Jesus is like reading in the tabernacle to a whole bunch of not Pharisees, but people that he's not at the Pharisees yet, but just other people. And the preachers are getting mad, whatever their names are, they're getting mad. And then it just all hits him. And then he just starts breaking out in tears. And then he just starts writing away. And so I'm just going to go all the way through 10, and then we can talk about it. And then I say, so in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with the God in the beginning. Through him, all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe, talking about John the Baptist. He himself was not to light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. And so that kind of leads up to them rejecting him too, which we don't know this if he wrote this after the fact or during the fact, but the world did not know him, even though he had made the world. Almost a prophecy in itself.
That's interesting.
But when the first verse, which was in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, is calling Jesus God. But the reason why I love that is because in the beginning was the Word, and like he's calling the Word Jesus, which is God. Like if you translate Hebrews, like it's logos, where they say the Word. So he's calling in the beginning was God, and then Jesus was with God. Jesus is God. That's what it's like translating to. But I love that it says the Word, because you connect it to the Bible, and the Bible is our way to have a relationship with God. And then and then the next like 9 verses are like, Jesus is light. Darkness cannot overcome him. And then it's almost a prophecy on verse 10 where like he is coming into the world as his own. He is who made the world, but the world does not know him.
Does not recognize him. Yeah.
Right. And so like when I think when James said think of something that makes you think of Christmas, I immediately thought of that scene in The Chosen. But then I thought of Jesus coming into the world, and that's essentially what John is saying. Right. But not that Jesus is just coming to the world and this Jesus. This is some dude we should listen to. It's like in the beginning was God. Jesus was with God. Jesus is God. Like that's very overcoming with feeling when like you really, really like think about that or analyze that verse.
And
it's
then
so foundational too. I just had,
If people struggle to wrap their minds around that too. I think that can be one of the hardest things as a new believer or someone who maybe is agnostic to, really dive deep into, because you're like, huh? I don't get it. How are they all connected? How are they the same thing? How are they the same person? They're just my response to that would be God gives you different ways to relate to him as a father, as a son, as the Spirit. So at different times you're going to need a father. At different times you're going to need, a man, a man to relate to, a human person, which is Christ. And at different times you're going to need a spirit, and in essence you're going to need what the Spirit can provide. So each of them provides something a little different at different times of your life, but they are all conveying the same message through the gospel.
Yeah, they're all in unity for sure. The whole point was like, if we didn't see Jesus, we wouldn't know like what God looks like. It says he's the exact imprint of his nature, right? So like God's invisible. Without Jesus, we don't see what God's like, because he's just this invisible, like it's more disconnected, dude, you guys keep bringing up all of the verses. So I had a chat this morning before I had my coffee or breakfast or anything. I come out of the room and my wife is on the phone or FaceTime with my mother-in-law, who's a Jehovah's Witness. And she's talking to her about stuff. I'm like, let me get the phone. And like for the next 2 hours, I was going over all of these verses. I didn't have my coffee. I didn't have breakfast. And afterwards I was just like, but it was all these verses that we brought up. It was the verse that Ty brought up. It was what Heidi just brought up. It was just what John just brought up. So that's interesting. Oh, I'm tired. That was good. I think that's it.
That was really good, boys. Sorry, I got to get to church, dudes. I really enjoyed our time.
James, it was so long. I'm sorry. We'll meet up.
Yeah, I was promised 35 minutes. What the heck?
Don't apologize.
I did not know.
I did not know. That was an honor and a privilege to be able to do this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
Yeah.
Later, James.
Yeah.
Later.
Love you guys. Talk soon.